Okay, class, let's do our regular speaking practice now. So, class IELTS 43. Mr. Trio, can you turn on your microphone, please?
Yes.
Speaking practice now. Okay, so welcome to another speaking practice. So, let's do test one first. And I'm coughing here because I've been talking a lot. Try. Okay, I think let's try the previous topics here. Okay, let's try 91. It's about evening. So, good evening, class. How are you? No, it's not evening, it's afternoon now. All right, so Mr. Trio, what do you usually do in the evening and why?
Um, Normally I just take my time to relax and enjoy my dinner.
Mm,
After a hard working day, I just want to spend time laying on my bed and listen to my favorite songs or watch the video clips on TikTok or
mm.
YouTube.
You should
Uh,
have watched my videos instead, you know?
yeah. Uh, Sometimes I spend time learning English. But my
You should
church,
spend more time learning English.
yeah, um, I have a lot of schedule in working, so my timetable is not fixed, and so my evening is complicated with a lot of activities.
Okay, so Mr. What do you usually do in the evening and why?
Evening after a long hard working day, I usually uh, g- go to um, a yoga class
Mhm,
at least 3 times a week
mhm.
after having dinner.
Okay.
And of course, I also spend from 30 to 1 hour for
30 minutes to 1 hour. You mean 30
30,
minutes to an hour?
30 minutes to 1 hours for my mm,
Okay, let's
English.
say an hour, an hour, an hour. Không bao nhiêu nói 1 hour nữa. Yeah, please. Okay, 30 minutes to an hour. Okay.
30 minutes to 1 hour
To
to an
an
hours
hour, to an hour, an hour, an hour.
to an hours for my English uh, homework.
Yes.
Yes, and I also uh, love watching televisions. Um,
Television.
televisions. I usually watch some uh, news on TV. I don't usually watch movies because I
Because,
think
because,
because
because.
because I think it take a lot of time.
Hmm.
Just some just some short news is enough for me.
I see. So, Mr. Trill, do you spend your evenings in the same way on weekends, on weekdays? Why not?
Um, my weekdays and my weekends are different. In weekdays, during the weekdays, I stay at home and some review my work as well as spend time for my private activity. But
Private
in
activities, of course.
yeah,
We all have private activities.
but in the weekend, I often go out with my friends,
Mm.
or I have weddings or parties. In
In
week,
which
yeah,
I can lose my
weekend
money
is the
on.
time for a different myself.
Yes. Okay.
Unlike the same thing repeatedly happen in my life.
I see. Okay, so how did you spend your evenings when you were younger?
Mm, when I was younger, I was living in countryside,
In
and there
the
were
countryside.
in the countryside, and there weren't too many activities for children to do. I just stay at home with my parents, review the lesson, and talk with my brothers and my parents.
Mm.
Also, I prepare the clothes for tomorrow.
For a day afterwards, you mean?
Yeah. Oh no, for the next day, go to school.
Oh, I see. So, is there anything you don't like to do in the evening, Mister?
Talking about what I don't like to do in the evenings, of
Mm.
course, I think about take my work as my companies to home.
You mean you don't want to take work home?
Yes, I don't
Okay.
want to take work home. Of course, it's take a lot of um, my free time, and I think evenings is time for personal tasks
Ah,
rather than
I don't want to take work
tasks.
home. So, for personal task, you mean personal care, personal tasks, personal things.
Yes,
Okay.
rather than finish what
Finishing rather than finishing.
rather than finishing uh what I need to do at work.
Hmm. I see. I see. So, Mr. Trill, is there anything you don't like to do in the evenings?
Uh, in the evening, I'm a little lazy to
Mm.
iron the clothes to go to work
Clothes.
tomorrow. Yeah, always
To go to work the
lazy.
next day, you mean?
Yeah, all
Nghĩ đến nơi
always,
làm việc ngày hôm sau đó. To go to work on the next day. So,
and I I'm lazy to pick up the phone calls from my manager
I mean,
or from clients. A busy day make me sleepy,
of
and
course, busy
yeah,
makes you
I
sleepy.
just want to relax and put all relevant things of work away from myself.
Mhm. I agree. Right, let's go on to part two, shall we? Okay, part two. Let's try 100 and you okay?
Yes, still okay, still alive.
Wow, I think we did this one before. Ah, there you go. Let's try 110. Describe a person who often buy at street market at a cheaper price. Miêu tả một người mà thường mua ở cái chợ ngoài trời á, ở cái giá rẻ hơn. You should say who this person is, what he or she often buy, describe briefly the street markets they often go to, why or how they buy cheaper, and how you felt about it. You might need to talk about bargaining or to haggle, or to haggle. To haggle mean the same as to bargain. Bargain, mặc cả, trả giá. And the act is called bargaining or haggling. Hành vi hoặc hành động mặc cả. Well, or they can get a better deal with the sellers if they do something for the sellers. Nếu mà làm một cái gì đó hỗ trợ cho người sellers đó thì có thể được giá tốt hơn chứ. Yeah, you can do that. Okay, and then you have to talk about how you felt about it. And you have to describe briefly the street markets they often go to, like where the street market is, what is often sold, are there a lot of people there, có nhiều người đó không, cái chợ nằm đâu, bán gì chẳng hạn. But very briefly, okay? Miêu tả rất ngắn thôi. because you only have 2 minutes for this test to remember. Okay, part 3 of street markets. Do you think street markets will disappear in the future? So think about the fact that these days a lot of people, they just go to supermarket, they order on apps, They just order items or goods on apps, on phone apps. Like for example, I often do that. And I never actually go to street markets. But some people like my mother or the older generation, they often go to street market because they love the feeling of bargaining or haggling, I think. Giống như kiểu mà khoái mặt cả lắm luôn á, giống như một cái thói quen đó. It's like a habit that they cannot get rid of. It's like a habit they cannot get rid of. It's like a part. It's like a part of their culture, a part of their life, I think. Một khi mà nó mặc cả quá lâu rồi, nhiều năm rồi, đã thành một cái thói quen cả đời luôn rồi. It's hard to get rid of. So also think about the fact that street markets can become a tourist attraction. Giống như chợ Bến Thành chẳng hạn, like Bến Thành Market is actually a tourist attraction. And actually people go to markets not just to buy, but to enjoy part of the culture too. Người ta đi chợ nhiều khi không phải chỉ để mua đâu, người ta đi để mà hưởng thụ một phần của cái văn hóa nữa. So think about those things. And what are the problems that can arise when buying items in street markets? Có vấn đề gì có thể xuất hiện khi mua đồ ở chợ đêm không, chợ ngoài trời không? And what are the advantages of buying at street markets? They did not ask, okay, this one is a disadvantage and this one is advantages, okay? All right, thinking time. Okay, Mr. You first, please describe a person who often buy at street market at a cheaper price, please.
Yes. The persons I would like to mention here is my mother, who
Is my mother.
is my mother, who is very experienced in bargaining.
In bargaining.
Bargaining. The market my mother often goes to is close to my home, only a few hundred meters away, and most of the sellers are quite friendly, I think.
Of course they have to be friendly.
My mother is very skilled at observing the seller's attitude to know whether or not to negotiate, which is one of the reasons why she can buy items at a bargain price for both parties. It pleases both my mother's and the sellers. I think this is both beneficial and harmful, and I want to mention harmful influence. Among many people made sellers often raise the price instead of keeping it as it is. Because many people love bargaining, means why buyers spend a lot of time shopping than usual, even though they could be doing other things.
Okay. All right. So, Mr. Trill, please describe a person who often buy at street market at cheaper price. Can you?
I will talk about my mother who prefer going to street market to buy things with cheaper price. The market is near my house, so she just takes some step to go there in only 1 minute. My mother can buy food at the street market for regularly because of its convenience, and she has the good relationship with the sellers, so they offer her special discount. She also good at bargaining.
Bargaining.
Yeah, bargaining. With this,
Bargain.
We're
Bargaining. Good at
bargaining,
bargaining.
bargaining, bargaining. With this skill, she can negotiate with the seller to have a better price. Uh, and street market is available in our area, so she has no choice to go to another market.
Okay. Right, I see. Okay, so how you feel about it? And can you talk a little bit about the street market, please?
Could you repeat again?
Okay, please focus on how, or can you describe briefly the street market and how you felt about
Yeah.
her
I think
bargaining?
street market is a good choice for us when we don't have much time to go to supermarket or go to traditional market. Uh, it's the street market is on the way going home, so you can cross and pick up the things easily. Um, it also offers the affordable good, fresh and cheap. Uh, with street market, we don't spend too much for uh, time and money for buying things. So it's very useful for us.
Okay. So, talking about street market, Miss Trúc, do you think street markets will disappear in the future because we have globalization now? So everywhere is the same. You can find clothes, different brands everywhere in the world, and less people are going to market these days, but they go to supermarket or they order on apps. Do you think street markets will disappear in the future, Miss Trúc?
In my opinion, I don't think that street markets will disappear in the future, though it seems that supermarkets and retail stores become dominant nowadays. First, because uh, street markets seem to be more affordable for many people who has who is middle class. Street markets tend to offer more affordable goods compared to supermarkets, which is, which is increase their products price because many tax they have to pay for, such as price tax, and people have to pay for that tax. Instead of that, if people uh, go to street markets, they can buy items with a more bargain price. Besides that, street markets invite in invite to cultural and social is and social importance. I think because street markets are often um, evolved into local traditions and cultures. They, they offer a sense of community. So if even in the futures, they are disappear a lot. I think some of them can be relocated in an area that's more suitable for them than now.
Mhm.
You
More
know,
simple for them than now.
many street markets are scattered,
Scatter, you mean?
scattered from the streets
You mean
and
scattered,
scattered
scatter around. Nó gọi
around.
là nó cứ rải rác khắp nơi.
Yes,
It's just scatter around whenever there are people. There would be street markets.
and sometimes it affects um
Yes. Tức là
traffic traffic system.
Mhm. Nó gọi là chợ tự phát. So basically, this is called spontaneous. They just popped up spontaneously. It means randomly. Một cách ngẫu nhiên nó xuất hiện, chợ tự phát. So basically those street markets, they popped up, mọc lên, they popped up randomly or spontaneously everywhere wherever there are humans, isn't it? So what else do you want to say then? What else would you like to say?
Oh.
Mr. Tree,
I
you add a few things maybe?
Yeah.
Do you think street
Uh,
markets will disappear in the future?
yeah. Although supermarket and traditional
Although,
market,
although.
yeah, although supermarket is popular now, but street market is still available in the future. Mm, when when you come to street market, you don't have to pay fees for task or other costs, so the price is much cheaper and affordable for all of us. Um, and most of the goods as in street market are fresh every day. Yeah, mm, you mm, you can have the selection for your choice from small stuff or
Don't use the word
consume
stuff in IELTS, please. Đừng
yeah
dùng stuff trong IELTS nha, cẩn thận. Because the
item
word stuff is actually very, it's quite impolite and it's vague. Cái từ
yeah,
stuff giống như là thứ này, thứ kia. Nó sẽ không rất
yeah,
lịch sự và nó không, nó rất là gọi là chung chung. Đừng dùng chữ
yeah
stuff nha. Like buy items or goods
item yeah
or maybe fruits or vegetable. Nói chung là nói chính xác là món là món gì nha.
yeah. And however, when you go to street market, you will face the some difficulties and some issues. For example, the hygiene, food hygiene, or the quality of the goods is not controlled. Mm, the street markets cause the noise in your areas, and sometimes traffic jam is occurred when people go there a lot. Uh, but in my opinion, uh, street market is still
Necessary,
and
necessary.
necessary and popular in our life, even in the modern social modern society.
In a modern society, yeah. Okay, so Mr. What are the problems that can arise when buying items at street markets? What do you think?
There are some problems that can arise when buying items at street markets.
Mhm.
Uh, f- for example, quality and authenticity concerns. Many people think that the qualities of products that sold um,
The quality
at
of products
street that are
okay,
sold at street markets
sold
are
that are sold at street
that are
market.
s- that are sold at street markets are are often unreliable. Unlike established retail stores, these products may not always come with warranties. It's harder to sure the qualities of that items, especially for things like electronics and clothes. And it's real easy to buy fake items if you don't be really careful because you can be scammed by the seller.
Okay, of course, sellers will often try to scam people. Or it's how can I say, bị chém bởi những người bán hàng. Well, actually it's a scam. It's a low key scam, not high key. Nó giống như là bị lừa nhưng mà ở cái mức độ thấp á, low key thôi, nó không phải là mức độ cao gì cả. Có vài đồng cũng lừa nữa nha. So basically it's a low key scam. Okay, what else, Mr. Trio? What other problems can arise when buying item at street market? What do you think?
Yeah.
Think about the quality of products. It's often they swap objects. So they can swap the goods. Nó hoán đổi đồ. They can swap the goods when you don't see it. When you don't see what they do, they swap the goods. What else then? Yes, Mr. Trio. What else can they do? The
The good
other,
the
yeah.
goods
What are the disadvantages? What problems then?
yeah the goods at street market uh are not having the clear origin. We don't know where they are from, and you cannot buy the good at street market when the seller don't go to the market regularly. For example, they go there to sell things today, but tomorrow they will not come anymore.
Oh well. Okay, you mean availability of goods or
Yeah,
availability of the sellers
yeah, and the
or
good.
the goods.
Yes,
Sometimes it's the goods is not available anymore.
yeah, and
So this is something that I haven't thought about it.
yeah,
Okay, please go on. Please go on.
and as mentioned, when many people go to the street market, it can cause traffic jam and cause the noise to the area. So people will be unhappy.
Okay. What else then? Okay, so Mr. What are the advantages of buying at street markets then compared to other places?
Besides a lower price that items at street markets uh, compared to uh, decent retail stores due to the lack of costs like tax, staff salary, and advertising.
Mhm.
People find costs easier, especially if they are good at negotiate with vendors.
Mhm.
I think uh, people are more easier to find fresh and new products.
Mhm.
I mean, street markets are often a wonderful place to buy fresh, locally products such as fruits, vegetables, and
Okay.
something like that. And of course, these goods are often more affordable and fresher than what people
Can find, can find.
can find in supermarkets because it take a complicated and complicated process
Process,
for
process.
complicated process when supermarkets buy some products from the farmers.
Okay.
And and sometimes I find that the good uh the good uh opportunity to support small businesses.
You start a small business, right?
Get to support
Mhm.
small businesses around around me. I can support local vendors
Mhm.
by shopping at street markets. These have them a lot who are farmers, who are small retailer, which boost the local economy and rem- removes the living standards of locals.
I see. All right. So what do you think, Mr. Trill? What are the advantages of buying at street markets? Actually, it's a part of culture and history too, nó một phần của văn hóa và lịch sử luôn nha. Okay, so what do you think, Mr. Trill? Your microphone's on, please. Something's wrong with his microphone now.
Hello?
Okay, please answer the question.
Yeah,
What do you think? What are the advantages of buying at street markets then?
yeah. The first thing I have to say is the things at street market is cheaper
Hmm.
than other stuff, other things.
Other gì?
Huh? Hello?
Then other places, right?
Other places,
Such
yeah,
as
such
supermarket
as
or
supermarket, convenience stores.
convenience stores are often more expensive, of course.
Yeah, uh, because the seller don't have to pay for tax.
Wait, they do have to pay tax, right?
No, I think the street market they don't have to pay tax.
Moment, I should check. Người bán ở chợ có phải trả thuế không? Of course they do. Thuế giá trị tăng 5% nè. So VAT is 1% and income tax is 0.5% and of course they have to pay. Who
Except
doesn't have to pay tax anyway?
I think it's scam tự phát.
Of course,
Yes,
spontaneous market, you don't have to pay anything.
Yeah.
but
Spontaneous or pop-up markets. It just popped up. It just popped up markets, I think. Moment, let me check the word popped up. It means it just pop up out of nowhere. Pop-up markets, it can be everywhere. Wherever the people, there will be pop-up markets,
Yes.
I think. Moment. But it looks much more organized, I think. But these
Mm.
pop-up market in Vietnam, it just pop up out of nowhere. Wherever there are streets, there will be people selling things.
Yes.
Interesting. Is it the same? I don't think pop-up markets here. What are we looking at? Let's just say spontaneous market.
oh
I
In
think
Vietnam.
these are the one.
Yeah.
yes,
Okay, spontaneous markets in Kiev, spontaneous market in Yangon,
Mm.
Myanmar, or Burma.
So
Spontaneous
I
market.
think
Yeah, that's the one we're looking at.
yeah,
Spontaneous is
as
random.
those kinds of market, people don't have to pay tax. I think.
They have to pay other things like protection fees. Phim gọi là tiền bảo kê.
Yeah.
Protection fees for people in the world. Tiền bảo kê cho cho những chỗ. Ok, tiền tiền bảo kê. Of course you have to pay that. Và còn những phí bôi trơn nữa.
Mm.
And other fees to help your business to go smoothly without having to worry about paperwork.
but
Anyway,
it means they
yes,
violate the law and often caught by the
by
authorities.
the authority, yes. Like for example,
Yes,
a lot of street markets vendors they violate what's it called? Food hygiene
Yeah. Good
standards.
machine.
Họ vi phạm những cái chuẩn về vệ sinh thực phẩm lắm luôn á. They violate food hygiene standards. And of course, they have to bribe the governmental officials, Họ phải nhét túi tiền nhằn túi những người trong chính quyền nhé. They have to bribe the governmental official. I think government official, sorry.
And we don't
Okay.
know the origin of the fruit there.
We don't know the correct origin. So
Yeah.
basically, the origins of the food, it's questionable. Đáng đặt dấu chấm hỏi. The origins of food is often questionable. And one more thing, the food, or basically the food, is never tested for pesticides, or harmful chemical.
Yeah.
But if you go to supermarkets, they will test it daily, especially like big markets. Nếu mà đi ra siêu thị chắc chắn là phải kiểm tra mấy cái vệ sinh an toàn thực phẩm và kiểm tra dư lượng thuốc trừ sâu, kiểm tra những cái hóa chất độc hại thường xuyên luôn á. Of
Yeah.
course, there will be sometimes things happen, like there will be bad stories about the supermarkets, but still they are better than street market for sure, right?
Yes.
Sure luôn á. People often say that, okay, street markets, the fruits, the vegetables, or the meat are often fresher. Yes, but what about the hygiene? People never talk about it, right? Con người ta luôn nói là đồ ăn ở chợ luôn tươi hơn, nhưng mà thực sự không ai nói về chuyện vệ sinh và những thuốc trừ sâu các thứ. Right? People never really talk about it. So they think that items in supermarket is worse. They always think like that, but I don't think so. At least, yeah, on the contrary, I think items in the supermarket are tested regularly. So it's actually safer. Of course, sometimes there are people who get food poisoning. Of course, it happens. But of course, it's still safer than street market, in my opinion. What do you think, class?
I agree that food from supermarkets that's more safe than at
You mean
street
safer? A
markets.
safer?
Yes, that's safer than street markets because it requires many um
Testing, yeah.
many
Test.
certificates that ensure that their foods are safe.
People can buy certificate these days. Well, it's an official, of course. Nó sẽ là không chính thức rồi, nhưng mà of course people can buy certificate these days. However, I still think that food from supermarket are way more safer than food in street markets. At least it do not smell that bad. If you go to supermarket, okay, it does smell, but not as bad as a traditional market, right? And also think about the hygiene where the sellers are selling things. It's never clean, isn't it? Cái vệ sinh của mấy cái chỗ ngoài chợ bán á, chẳng bao giờ là sạch cả. But at least in market, they clean regularly. They have to do that. And it doesn't smell too bad. So does it tell you something? Yeah, it does, right? Okay.
Ngộ độc gì á? Em quên mất tiêu ta.
Okay, tell us please.
Ngộ độc.
Food poisoning, ngộ độc thực phẩm.
Yeah.
I'm not telling you that food from supermarket are safer, okay? But generally, they are cleaner.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean that we will not get food poisoning. Of course, people get food poisoning from time to time. From time to time, people get poisoned, food poisoning. from eating like supermarket food, but not that much compared to if you buy food from street markets, to be honest with you. And if there's a food poisoning happening, people cannot sue the market to sue someone. Kiện ai đó. They cannot sue the market because that seller is just one person, right? But
They
if
don't
there's
have
something wrong,
evidence.
yeah, they don't have the evidence. But if the supermarket sell bad food and the customer got food poisoning, they can sue the whole market, because there's an evidence. There's a lot of evidence actually. Like they get the receipt of the food, they have the receipt. Đó là receipt nha. It's called receipt. Có cái tờ hóa đơn trắng trắng. They have the receipt after they buy it, and also the box. Chắc chắn là phải có hộp rồi nha. The box of like the meat, for example. So there's a lot of evidence, and people can sue the market, the supermarket. Có người ta kiện nguyên cả cái siêu thị cũng được mà. But not street markets. So I still think that supermarket's safer somehow. Nói vậy thôi chứ mua hàng á, nhiều khi mua mà nó trộn thịt cũ thịt mới hoài vậy đâu. Nhưng phải
Mm.
phải kiểm tra kỹ nha. Like for example, there were times when I buy online food, but I bought like ground beef. I bought ground beef, thịt bò xay á.
Mm.
And I have to check carefully because they mix. So basically, what they did is they mixed old and
Yeah.
they mix old and smelly meat with the new one. And if I'm not careful, I would not be able to see it. I have to open those beef and then look for myself, And of course, I let the supermarket know and I demand them. So I let the supermarket know and I demanded a refund. Tôi đòi hỏi được trả lại tiền. I demanded a refund. Of course, they refunded me.
Yes.
But
Every
yeah, but for street markets, it's impossible, right?
Yes, because supermarkets has customers complaints
Yes, they
department.
do.
Yes.
They have a customer care. They have customer care department. Nó có bộ phận mà để gọi là chăm sóc khách hàng mà. They have a customer care department, so of course they have to care about that. If there is anything wrong, the reputation of the market will be affected, will be harmed. Cái danh tiếng của cả siêu thị nó sẽ bị.
Rồi xuống đi.
Oh, you are going down now? Okay, I think it's time we can stop here now to class.
Thank you. Good night. Rồi, good
Okay,
night.
I'll see you soon on Thursday. Okay, bye,
Good
class.
Yes.
night.
Mm.
Đang tính good night.